Now you're a sophomore at Andrea High School. You just told us that your freshman year was good. You played freshman ball, you played JV, but then you also had a rude awakening. You said when you was playing AAU basketball, like you said, you met Glenn. Um, what did that do for your confidence, though? Seeing that, like you said, at Andrea, you're probably one of the best already, but now you're going back to the city where you're from and you meeting different type of talent.
Uh, Man, just being able to play as much as I did at Andrea, it helped my confidence. And I was always the type where I didn't, I knew there was a lot of guys out there that were better than me, but I knew that if I worked hard, I could possibly reach that level, maybe get better. And that summer, myself, Chris Artich, best friend, he's a brother. We always play. He had a quarterback at his house, so we were always playing. And we weren't, if we weren't in the back of his house, we were at Sunnyside or some other park going to basketball camps together. So, he and I really like grew together, not only as friends and brothers, but as basketball players. So he's coming to Andrea with me. I'm excited. I said, man, we got a chance to kind of do some things. And I came in kind of expecting to be on varsity. I said, man, I know nobody gonna be able to take my spot. And we get a new coach, Bob Busher. So I come in and but he has a different plan. So he says, man, you're gonna be on varsity, but you're gonna start off on JV. I want to kind of see where you are. And I'm like, man, this
Wow.
is cool. So
Wow.
I'm thinking I'm gonna be out there that first game against Gary Roosevelt against Glenn. But instead, I come off. I probably play like maybe 2 minutes in fourth quarter.
Wow.
So all right, I'm not gonna get my head down. My father's like, hey, you got to work for it, So it took a few more games, and finally, I think we played River Forest, and he said, I'm gonna play you 2 quarters JV, and you're gonna come up to varsity. You're gonna get a lot of time. I'm gonna see, how you progressed. So. That game, I think I had 15, 12, and 5, and I never looked back. Never played JV basketball again.
Wow.
But, just that year helped me so much because we had some really good seniors on the team. Sam Bennett, Damon Joshua, Sean Regans, and those guys always stayed in me. They got in my chest, just, motivate me, wouldn't let me, just stand on me the whole time. Great senior leaders, and, it really helped me. And we had a successful senior. I had a successful sophomore campaign, just because of those guys. And beat Hammond High. Everybody thought Hammond High was going to crush us in that Hammond section. We pulled it out. Eventually lost to East Chicago, first game of the regionals. But with what we had and where everybody thought we'd finish, it was a pretty good season.
So, losing to EC Central in the regionals, what kind of feeling you had about that? Because I'm sure you want EC to win as well, but you play the Andrea.
It was tough because all the guys you live in this town, and all those guys that they're telling me, man, you're not gonna beat us, man. And they're telling me, we're gonna do this, and they're gonna put so and so on you, and I'm like, okay, but I said, man, y'all that cocky, and they would beat us, man. East Chicago was really good, not the biggest team, but they were so athletic and quick, it gave us problems. And that's probably one of the biggest regrets of my high school career, that I never beat, East Chicago Central.
Wow.
Some good games, but they always, edged us out. So.
Okay. Now you're a junior, and as you know, in the region, you get a lot of pub. You and Glenn are always headlined throughout the state. What kind of feeling did you have on having that new pressure on you as being an actual superstar in the state of Indiana?
Well, I didn't consider myself a superstar.
But you was. You was though.
Glenn was that guy. I remember my father telling me, man, you can just be half as good as this guy, you'll be okay. And so it was kind of good coming up with Glenn, because I used him as a measuring stick to see how well my game improved. He was such a tremendous talent. Mm-hmm. But it was a lot of pressure. Everybody said, well, this guy played well as a sophomore. We're gonna see what he's gonna do this year. And I got a lot better. I still had so much to work on, so many areas to improve. Yeah. Good season, but I think we lost to Bishop Knoll in the regionals that year.
Okay.
Tough, hard-fought game. I'm down there battling with Terry Austin. They got Skip McCoy, Russ Marson, that good team. We couldn't beat them. So, But all in all, junior year, pretty good.
All right. Now that you're a senior, and now it's really once again Glenn, yourself, in the region. Now just give me your expectations as a senior, as far as yourself as an individual and also as a team.
Senior year, it was a little bit of pressure, because I made a little name for myself on the camp scene, the AAU scene, previous summer. Glenn's coming in, he's #1 in the country. Both of us committed to Purdue. So it's.
Why you go there? I mean to cut you off, but going to Purdue.
Well, I had gone to their camps when I was young.
Okay.
And I just fell in love with it. I remember some of the guys, Troy Lewis, Everett Stevens, those guys. They were superstars in my eyes. And then for me to be able to go to the school where they played, I knew, Coach Katie, didn't really have a relationship with him. He was a big time coach. I was just a little boy going to the camps. But Coach Weber, who was the coach of Illinois now, he was the head assistant. He remembered me, and I was like, man, I thought that was just so special that they got to remember me, and it's close to home. I said, man, my parents can get down to every game. I can go home when I want to. My friends and family can come down and see me and kick and hang out. So I said, man, that's the place I want to be. So we made that decision. Me and Glenn kind of talked about it over the summer. Why don't we go to the same school? We boys, we cool.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, okay, yeah, met Conzo a few times on some recruiting trips. He was cool. Some of the other guys. So I said, hey, this is the place to be. So I made that decision. So everything I didn't really have that pressure like a lot of guys have, late signees.
Yeah, I will ask you that, yeah.
And so that senior season coming, I said, man, I knew Gary Roosevelt was #1 in the state. Says, man, we really gotta hump to beat these guys. And, first game of the season, they beat us by 6 at our place. It was an awesome game, but they a little bit better at the end. And we were success. We had some success that year.
How did you fare against Glenn?
I had 27-16, and he had 24-13. Now, every time I talk to him, I remind him too.
Yeah.
He tells me there's no way I outscored him. So
yeah.
I said I keep telling him I'm gonna photocopy the article and I'm gonna send it to him.
Yeah.
It's a little friendly rivalry, whatever. He don't want to admit it, but he played well. He got in a little foul trouble. I was hot.
Yeah.
I was just like, wow, man, just to play like that against a guy like that was, that was big for my confidence. So I knew, man, if I could do it against him, I could do it against anybody.
Gotcha.
And so we lost that game, won a few games, went down to Martinsville. I think Martinsville was #2, and they crushed us by 30. So we had got back. Coaches, they got on me. They like, you got to step up, man. You played kind of soft, and I said, man, you're right. And so we picked it back up. This is a good season, and
how did it end?
We beat Lake Central in the first game of the regionals, and here it is again. We meeting up with Gary Roosevelt in their regional championship, and they had just beaten East Chicago, I want to say, in 3 overtimes in the morning.
By
game.
1 point.
And so we were all thinking like, man, they're gonna be tired. We got a chance.
Yeah.
They just came out hungry. They were a special team. They only lost 1 game that year. I think they got us by 30. We couldn't do anything with them that night. So. They went on to win the state championship, so it's no reason to kind of hang your head. We wanted to win that game, but that team was on a mission.